Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dialogue with Khuraira. Dialogue with Khuraira is a platform for the unsung heroes. Who are the unsung heroes? Unsung heroes are people doing incredible things in their various communities for the betterment of humanity. We call them the unsung hero because probably the media spotlight is not on them, but they are really doing amazing things. So we want to showcase them so that they can inspire you and probably mentor you or encourage you. Their story encourage you so that you can go out there and do also the same in your own community. Today we have Dr. Zarah Yusuf Ahmad as one of our guests, and we are going to talk with her. She's going to introduce herself, and then I'm going to ask her questions based on her humanitarian work. I'm so excited to have this Amazonian woman. I'm really, really pleased to have her. So, Sister Zarah, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, our listeners and our viewers. My name is Dr. Zarah Yusuf. I am from Yobe State, Nigeria. Precisely, I was born and brought up in Buniadi, Gujuba local government, Yobe State. I am a veterinarian by profession. I read veterinary medicine. I also had my master's in veterinary epidemiology, that is veterinary disease control, interfacing diseases that crosses from animals to humans, which we call zoonotic diseases. I think this is briefly who I am. In the humanitarian space, I am the CEO, a founder of Portrait of Lake Child Initiatives, organization that is concerned with children living across Lake Chad region of Africa. Our head office is here in Damaturu, Yobe State. Is it okay? Maybe?
You haven't finished your bio. What other humanitarian work are you?
All right, okay. All right, let me just finish everything. I thought it would go bit by bit. So as a humanitarian worker, I happen to work with the civil society organization in my state and across the Bay State, that is Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa, the security compromised and humanitarian affected states that are affected by insurgency or Boko Haram. This is the Bay State, Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe. So I happen to be the member of the network of the civil society across this region. I also have a membership with the network of the civil society of the Lake Chad region. I am currently the head of humanitarian and community development of the network of civil society organization. I also work closely with the international organization like the United Nations Population Fund and other relevant international organization in my state. I happen to be part of members of the sector working groups of the humanitarian space, especially the child protection sector working group, the livelihood and food security, also the education and emergency working group, and also I think the health sector working group, etc. So I happen to work along the mathematic area, which is girl child education, gender-based violence, issue of climate change, which is very peculiar with the Lake Chad region, and also maternal and child care. These are part of mathematic area as the network, as a civil society organization in the state. And by extension, I'm also the Secretary General to my association. There's the Association of Veterinary, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association. I am the Secretary General. I am also the Deputy Coordinator of the Female Veterinarians of Nigeria.
Wow.
And for ADSI, my new family, I am the project officer in Yobe State. So I think I have summarized who I am.
You know,
And I'm looking forward to see more engagement as a woman to break this barrier that women cannot do.
you know why I'm shaking my head? I was thinking I'm the busy bee. You beat me on this one. You definitely beat
Exactly,
me on this.
exactly. Sometimes I won't feel guilty of myself because
How do you do it, Zara? Dr. Zara, how do you do it? You know, I
and
think we were talking about
I always plan my time, and you know what, there was an organization called Pawiska recently that came to Nigeria,
yeah.
a platform for African women in smart agriculture. When it was brought to Nigeria, we happened to have an idea about it. We now brought it to Yobe and hijack it because we want women in Yobe to benefit from it. And I was given the secretary to that organization too. It's an Pan-African organization, and already they've even approved grant for us to implement a project in Yobe. So I'm also working along the line with this organization. So I
Wow.
always plan my time. I have time for my children. Perhaps I'm married with 4 kids.
MashaAllah. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
This is really, really incredible. And
Yeah.
you know, I sometimes I'm a little bit hard on you guys when it comes to projects. And now I'm gonna give you a break. After hearing all that you do, so I'll give you a break when the projects are not submitted on time for
Yeah.
ADSI. But I understand how busy you are. You are a wife, a mother of 4. You are dealing with a lot of amazing nonprofit organizations, not just being a member, but also you are really fully participating. Where is that drive coming from, Dr. Zara? What inspire you to give back so much?
Yeah, actually, this started after I graduated from the university. When I came back to Yobe. I graduated in University of Maiduguri. That's during my undergraduate studies. When I came back from service, I after the insurgency, I realized there is a lot of gap in terms of the girl child education. What makes me feel that way is that I was part of one of the luckiest girls in my community that were able to complete the university reading the veterinary medicine. In fact, I am the first female veterinarian in my community. So after graduation, I went back for my master's. After 10 years of graduation, I came back. Still, I could not find a veterinary doctor in my community. So that clicks on my mind that at least there must be a problem for it to happen this way. Why will it be only Dr. Zara in my own community? I am expecting to see more doctors, especially the veterinary profession, which people always believe is very hard.
Yeah.
After graduating, I realized that it's not so hard for women to study veterinary medicine, but still you couldn't find women applying for that course. So that what triggers me to start creating awareness on importance of girl child education, and also to be as a role model to the young women and young girls in my community, to inspire them that there are a lot of opportunity for girls, and girls can do more than what was expected from them. And these are some of the triggers. And alongside, when the insurgency hits our community, my local government is one of the most hit local governments.
What local government is that, please?
Is Gujba local government
Okay.
is one of the most hit local government by insurgents. So, and this also added another issue to the education of children in that community, because of lack of these schools in
Yes.
the community, and people are internally displaced, and some children are drop out of school, and a lot of issues around that humanitarian uh, problem that just occurred. So it has now complicated the issue.
Yeah.
So that's why I now come up with the idea of why can't I just come up with a civil society organization or an NGO that will support me in doing that. I was doing it alone, before. When I see a girl is not in school, or maybe when I go to my community, I was always invited to come and attend the wedding of girls in my community.
Yeah.
Nobody is telling me to support her girl child to go to school, but they will always bring this invitation for me to attend their wedding. So I was like, why are you always giving me a invitation card for wedding? Are you people not allowing your daughters to go to school? Are they not attending school? And this is their response was like I even noticed that they don't even want
It's
their
so surprising. You know, when people listen to this, they wouldn't believe that there are some communities up till today that girls' child education is an issue. They won't believe it when especially in where in the cities or in the West, when they hear that girls are not allowed, there are not many girls going to get their education. It's to them, are you for real? But it really happening. And I think I'll commend you for seeing that gap and then going on to address it. But what really stuck out for me with your bio was a veterinarian a doctor that is a veterinarian. I said,
yeah.
what? How? I will not imagine you as a female to go for that profession, but now I can understand what the drive was about. And I think that believe me, with the whole concept of now Nigeria going into value chain agriculture, you will be
Food
a hot
security.
candidate for that, because if especially when it comes to husbandry, they will have to need someone like you to help them with their, you know.
And not even that, when you realize that 70% of these transmissible diseases are from animal origin,
Okay.
and you cannot separate human beings from their animals.
Yeah.
So when you realize that 70% of diseases that affect humans are zoonotic in nature, so I think our services is really, and you see this kind of imagine and reimagine zoonotic diseases around the world. I think that's the best as the other aspect of the importance of the veterinary profession, and also how the government can utilize that skill we have, and also the knowledge we have to reduce this kind of emerging diseases in our communities.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
very
I think,
important. I didn't
yeah,
even know that. I get, probably that's why they said COVID when it started at the market where they were selling, chicken or something.
exactly,
You know,
exactly. Even the processing of the meat,
yeah,
and also interaction of humans and animals, and also the uses of these antibiotics on animals. Improper use of antibiotics also causes drug resistance in humans, and when humans are affected with infectious diseases, they will end up dying because they are not responding to treatments.
yeah.
And this as a risk factor,
Why do you,
as a
where do you think that is the cause? Is it abuse of the drug or they taking
Yeah,
it?
all these antibiotic preparations. We have the human and animal preparations of this drug, and they are the same compounds, but in different chemical form. So when animals are being injected with such kind of drugs, the same oxytetracycline or maybe penicillin or maybe other antibiotics or streptomycin and rest.
Yeah,
So when animals that are injected with this kind of drugs were not, the withdrawal period of these drugs were not observed in this animal, and animals are being slaughtered. Our culture, we don't want to lose. So
mhm,
when animal is moribund, is about to die, even after treating the animal, we don't allow it to go through the withdrawal period. We just slaughter it and we eat it all
so
together
it
with
probably
drug residue.
is in there.
So drug residue is the leading cause of antimicrobial resistance in humans. So we are a lot of things surrounding the woman and human and animal interface, I think.
Mhm. Wow,
Yeah.
wonderful. So why lectured girls something lectured? Why that? Is it like you founded that or you were invited into that organization?
Actually, I personally came up with the idea. I
Oh
have
wow.
never heard of it anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Just that I wanted to focus on children living across the Chad region.
Okay.
I summarized the problems affecting the children across living. They have a peculiar issue that is not more common with other children
Yeah.
across Nigeria or other regions of the country.
And
So,
what is that?
issue of climate change,
Okay.
yeah,
This,
and backwardness, yeah, the girl child education, which is a contextual problem.
yeah, very much.
And also, lack of education of the girls and the women leads to poor maternal and child care.
Yeah.
So I think I just summarize these four thematic area. And issue of gender-based violence, is also very prominent.
Huge.
Without knowing the knowledge and without knowing the effect, we do it in a with religious misperception and religious misinterpretations. We do a lot of things that violate the rights of the women and girls. So these are the issues that we wanted to create awareness and also support the enrollment of children back to school, the out of school children. We support them and get back to school.
And have you also find in that area there's a lot of early marriages in the girls, like
Exactly. Is one of our the cultural what will I say, harmful cultural practices that we identify as part of the issue we wanted to tackle, the early and forced marriage, which is
yeah.
also very common. Yes.
Yeah, that's a huge issue. So maybe some people would be wondering when you talk about civil society organization. People might wonder, what is that? Is there a way you can like break it down what that is, and how can people join in their own communities if they're looking to be part of those kind of organizations?
Yeah, I think for the civil society, they have their own platform that you register with
Okay.
all the relevant documents that is required for you to register with them, and also they need active participation. It's just a kind of coordinating the activities of civil society in the state. So
Okay.
when once you are a civil society and you're registered with either the corporate affairs or the state, then you go and register with the network of the civil society. Let them know what you are doing for coordination and other security uh, uh, protocols and also measures to know who is doing what in that community and the state.
So,
Yes.
and is it like any organization, or can organization join that or no?
Of course, as far as you are implementing or you have interest in implementing project in the state
Yeah.
and in any other state, once you have interest in that state that you want to tackle an issue or maybe you want to implement a project, the first point of entry, I think, from after introducing yourself to the state, I think the next is the civil society organization.
Oh, yeah.
I think it should be a
That's
part of entry point for you to implement any project.
that's
And we
wonderful.
also have the network of women-led civil society organization. When
Okay.
you are when your organization is a women-headed organization or women-led,
Yeah.
you also register with the women-led after registering with the civil society.
Wow. Awesome. And you can do it in each of your state, whichever state you are. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that is also a very easy way for people to locate you through that directory too, to see how
Exactly.
especially when international NGOs come into your community or your state. So
Yeah.
I think it's so necessary to do that, and also to learn from others. It's not just even about registering, that you learn, being part of that whole community. You pick from different people and learn, right? And now that you have really been advocating for girls' education, what is the response from your immediate community, and then of course the larger area that you cover? What are parents saying to you that we're not allowing their girls to go to school?
Actually, there wasn't much resistance in that. One of the leading factors for parents not allowing their children to go back to school is poverty. and also lack of awareness. So once you enlighten this parent and tell them the impact and importance of their children to go back to school, they immediately consent and also support the idea, and also they were willing to give their children to go to school with the support that you presented to them.
Yeah.
And also, after the insurgency, there are a lot of lessons that were learned,
Yeah.
that this lack of education is also a leading factor to children joining the sect group.
Oh, yeah.
So this also created awareness in the eyes of parents that, okay, so this time around it's very important for us to take our children to school so that they will not fall victims of this recruitment by the insurgents and the rest. So I think it wasn't so difficult for us to impact on that area.
Yeah, yeah, that's really it's education. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. It's really, you know,
Exactly.
and in regards to also some of like your initiative with the is it what is the other, is it FEVAN, is it the federal or the, yeah, so what do you guys do? The female veterinarians of Nigeria. So what do you guys do, like you do the focus of that group?
Yeah, actually, the idea came of recently. When you're a woman veterinarian, you're always a man. That's how the
Oh,
society look
really?
at it.
That's how
And
they look at you
also
guys?
even the men doesn't even discriminate us as women. They always see us as we're equal to the tax.
Ah,
So, but
that's awesome.
yeah, they give us all the necessary support to see us excel.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but what makes us to come up with this idea is that there are a lot of gender mainstreaming programs and projects across the nation and globally, and this is just a coming up and is a trend that every women group or clique or women organization need to align with such global standard of gender mainstreaming. So we now felt that, okay, if women veterinarians that were not able to implement, or maybe were not able to be employed as a civil servant, or maybe employed by a private company and rest, maybe they are just redundant at home doing nothing. So it's good if we create such kind of opportunity for them, maybe to have a kind of grant for them to start a business, or maybe they should open a veterinary facility for themselves, or maybe we should also organize ourselves. Those veterinarians that are even working, how do we mobilize resources within ourselves to impact the people in our communities? How can we do that? The gender mainstreaming, and also support our fellow women at the grassroots. So
yeah,
we need to organize ourselves for us to achieve such kind of objectives.
yeah,
So that's the thing why we now try to coordinate ourselves and see how we can uh, organize ourselves and also tap on that opportunities of the global standard for gender policies and
yeah.
also gender mainstreaming projects and activities.
Yeah, that is very brilliant, because
Yeah,
as I always say, the we is better than the me.
yeah,
If you go
yeah.
in numbers, is better than when you go alone. And so in regard to the girls that you guys you are inspiring and motivating and fighting for um, education, do you find others now saying that I want to be the next Dr. Zara? Do you hear that?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there are a lot of times that my colleagues will be telling me that when they went for sensitization in a school, some children would just come home and say they want to be like Dr. Zara. Somebody was just telling me that when they now ask the children, "Do you know Dr. Zara?" They say no, they don't know her, but
Yeah.
they just want to be like her.
Oh,
So
that's so
so
awesome.
even there was a time when we went for Children's Day celebration.
Uh-huh.
So part of the question is, uh, Dr. Zara, was it? They just made a sentence with my name in
Uh-huh.
the quiz competition. So somebody was now, who is that Dr. Zara? When
Yeah.
I came in, hey, this is Dr. Zara. Everybody was just looking. After we finish the activity, all the girls around the area, doctor, we want to snap picture with you. Doctor, we want to be like.
Uh,
I
is it
think it's so.
that must have been so amazing for you, seeing that.
Yeah, and especially these young girls, what they lack is kind of mentorship and
Yeah,
also a role model.
yeah,
Our culture sometimes doesn't allow our mothers to come closer to us and listen to what we need. They
exactly,
don't normally know our needs. So
exactly.
I think young girls need people like us to come closer to them and ask them what they really want and also guide them to see
Yes.
how they can achieve their
Mentoring
goals.
is very, very
Yeah,
important.
mentorship can be a kind of direct contact, or maybe you just try to guide them to see what they are doing, and they should believe in themselves and the rest. So I think these are some of issues that we lack among women and also our mothers at home. So the women in the community has to come up with such kind of idea to see how they can guide young girls in their community,
Yeah.
especially the adolescent girls. Yeah. So
I
I think
I really am with you with that. And I think that who knows, maybe that is one thing that you guys can introduce through ATSI, a mentorship program, because so talk to us. You are also part of this organization called ATSI, which is Arewa Development Support Initiative, and you are a project coordinator. And how did you come to join in ATSI?
I joined AXI through one of my colleague, or maybe shall I say some of my closest friends. Exactly, let me just say Rankas
Right?
and
Okay.
yeah, and Dr. Adamu Alasan.
Yes.
Uh, these are the people that introduced me to ADSI. And the first day they told me about ADSI, I just picked interest immediately.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I started mobilizing my colleagues too. A lot of doctors
No
then they
wonder Yobe has so many doctors. I'm like,
a lot
everybody's doctor, this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, this. I say, wow, I can now see. So it's
some people were even saying that ATSI is an organization for doctors in Yobe. So that's what they say.
really,
We
really.
thought we just organized ourselves to come up with this ATSI organization. They didn't even know that it was somebody that found it.
Oh my God, but that is awesome. That is the whole key. ATSI is, why I take pride with ATSI. The culture of ATSI is that it belongs to everyone, you know. I really, ATSI was born out of dialogue with Khuraira. That is actually how ATSI came about. Listening to people, inviting people to come and talk about their charitable work. And then I find out that there's so many amazing people doing great things, but nobody knew about. So, and one day I'm like, I have all this contact plus who I knew. Let's all come together so that way we could be really doing more together. And
Yeah.
that's how ATSI came about. And the first 125 people that accepted to be part of ATSI, which we call the founding members, then started inviting, you guys. So, like Rankas was one of the first people, because when I was doing dialogue with Khuraira, he's always making comments. He comes online and talk about Yobe Damatru, to be exact. So, and that's how it happened. And look at it now. Like, I don't even know how you got in, how many people you brought in.
Yeah.
And it,
Do you know that what surprised me most is that there was a day I was in one social media hub, this clubhouse.
yeah.
So I didn't even know that Dr. Sadia was Halima in that platform. So
Okay.
I don't know how we connected. So we were discussing in one room. I now started introducing Atsi to those people in that room. She now chatted me privately that did I know her? I now said no. She's our was she our mentor? What will I even say?
She's an overseeing trustee.
Yeah, she's our trustee in Yobe. She
Yeah.
now said I'm your trustee in Yobe. I say, oh my God, what did I even say about Asi? Did I say anything wrong about Asi? She said, no. She was so impressed with what I'm saying. That's why she now introduced herself. So I was trying to tell them that this platform is very good for them. And a lot of people in that clubhouse are people from the diaspora. I now told them they should join this platform and see how they can contribute to people of their country, that's Nigeria, and also try to align themselves with the group in their own states
Yes.
and join ADSI. So a
Yes.
lot of people were now asking me more about ADSI, and I told them maybe they should just go and see how they can identify ADSI in their state, or maybe ask some people that knows ADSI in their state. But I now introduced to them that these are the platforms we used to initiate people
Yeah.
in that ADSI group. So
Yeah.
I now get them and the links and everything. And now they should Google it and see the activities ATSI is doing and the rest. So I was so surprised when she said she was the one. I started saying, did I say anything about ATSI that is very bad or something?
You see, I think that even though we operate solely on, I mean, except for our activities, but all our engagement, running of the organization is all solely on virtual. But it's like the activities are on ground, but the people that ATSI had touched, or people that even know of ATSI, I have no clue. Like, sometimes I was in Abuja when I came for my book lunch at a restaurant, and somebody just came to me and said, hi, are you Mama Atsi? And, and I'm like, yeah, I'm Khuraira. I said, yeah, and I'm from FCT, Atsi FCT. So I don't even
Mm.
know if you, and then I was in a supermarket, the same thing. Somebody came, I'm from Atsi,
Oh my
Kasana or something. I'm like, wow. So it's really great that we're able to have this kind of caliber of members. But the thing that I love the most about ATSIANs, I would say, every one of an ATSIAN is actually like a heavy hitter on their own, in their own right. Like, you guys already have your own organizations, you're already making a change. It's not like ATSIAN is showing you anything new. Where a lot of the people that are going out there to do the project are already doing their own non-profit organization too. So I think that is what I like about the whole thing. Like, people are just feeling this is for all of us, and even though I'm doing my own thing, I feel like also I should join this group for us to even do it in a bigger way. And you, Dr. Zara, you guys are doing incredibly well. I really do admire Atsi Yobe. You guys, first of all, you are good with paying your dues. And and in terms of your projects, you do great quality project, and you also reach out to your communities to ask people to add more to your project, which really is awesome. And when it comes to like
My office also, I even donated my office to ATSI. So
oh,
anything concerning ATSI is
wow,
done in my office.
I
I
didn't
said
even.
we don't need to create another office for ATSI. I think my office is enough.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, I'm just finding out that now. Wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. This is awesome. I don't know how far is Yobe from Abuja.
Oh, Yobe is very far. It's
Like,
like a 7 hours or 8 hours drive, I think.
oh, like you're almost going to Maiduguri.
Yes, yes, we are more closer to Maiduguri.
Okay, so it's very far. So, and there's no flight from Abuja to Yobe?
Yeah, I think for now we don't have, but I
Okay.
think they're planning to. We have the cargo airport, but it's not operational now.
Okay.
They're planning to do that,
So
but
people, if
Yobe
they're
is,
gonna fly to you, they would fly to Maiduguri and then drive to.
yeah, then yeah,
Okay.
via road to
Yeah, I
Yobe.
see. Okay, that's great. So, like, if you are now to look at those girls that you're um, motivating and what do you call it, empowering through your non-profit organization, and they sit with you and say, you know what, Dr. Zara, I want to be something, but I feel like I don't have the support. What would you say to a young lady like that?
Okay, like when they are looking for maybe advice or what?
Yeah, like she's just there confused. She doesn't know what to do. She want to be somebody, but she's stuck because, as you
Yeah,
said,
let me exactly. I understood.
yeah,
A lot of girls, there are a lot of girls that even lost hope,
yeah,
and we rehabilitated them. Like one scenario that just happened was, there was a girl that was returned from the Sambisa forest.
okay,
She came with
recently,
40. She is very young. She's just 23 years. She was picked when she was 18 or 17 years, I think, and she spent like 8 years there. She gave birth to children. When she came back, she lost hope. But with our mentorship and tried to see that, we told her that you have another chance to survive, and also you can make it in life.
yeah,
Don't give up. If
yeah,
you see her now, within 1 year, she has we traced the family of these children that she gave birth to. The husbands are all dead. We traced the family and gave their children back to them.
yeah,
We now, yeah, we now, she's with me in my house.
okay,
She went back to school. We secured admission for her in College of Agri, because that time there was no any other school, uh, higher education that was given admission at that time. Every activities were going on,
yeah,
so it was only College of Agri. She now said, I now told her that what would she like to read. I told her to choose between dietetics and public health. She
yeah,
now says she likes public health because when she was there, she always take care of this women's health and the rest. She give her own little support concerning the health of women and girls in that place.
yeah.
So she thinks she can do better in the public health. Do you know that she's scoring the highest score in her class, and she has been rehabilitated? You cannot even look at her now and say that she has undergone such kind of trauma.
Wow.
So these are just kind of some examples that we have. A lot of young girls that gave up in life, or maybe has social vices, that were affected with social vices and family issues. We try to bring them up, and give them hope, and also guide them through and see how they can come up again. There are a lot of survivors of gender-based violence that were impregnated and even gave birth, but we still give them hope, and they stood up, and they were making a lot of efforts, and also achieving their goals in life. So these are a lot of is there's just little examples that I can just give. But
But this is major. I didn't
yeah,
even know that, and still the girls are not totally found. You mean she was part of the Boko Haram, the Chipo girls, or no?
no, she's not part of Triple Girls, but FGC Bunyadi during that attack. Yeah, so
Yeah,
she was the head girl. Yeah, she was the head girl of that school, and she was picked along the road on her way to write her. She wants to go and make up her WAEC.
yeah.
So they now saw her and they recognized her. They called her name. She was the only person they picked in that car, and they went with her.
Unbelievable.
Unfortunately, even that time she has different religion. She was a Christian, but when she came back, she told me that she's okay. She can continue with Islam. She's comfortable with what she know about Islam. She's not misperceiving Islam, so she will just continue with Islam. I now told her that, are you sure that you want to continue with Islam? Are you not forced to do it? She said no. Nobody forced her.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
especially in Islam, you can't force someone to convert.
exactly, that's what I
Yeah,
even told her. But
yeah,
her father was alive. He now told me that this is exactly what he told her. So since he's a Christian, he will not force her to go back to Christianity. Since this is what she chose for herself, please, he's begging me that I should support her. Let
okay.
let me let me guide her through, so that she will not be alone. That's what the father told me, and he now said that he handed over all her affairs to me, that I should please oversee all what she's doing, and we are doing a lot of things together with her. She'll come to my house, although we secured a house for her, a rent. because of the children before we now take them back to their relatives and parents. So
Yeah.
she's still staying there, but very close to my house. Sometimes she comes to my house and sleeps. She help me with my house chores and dress, and she's very comfortable with my family, my husband, and everybody.
So is it like why did her family not allow her to stay with with them?
Yeah. What happened was that her mom died because of the attack she has when she was picked from by Boko Haram. To the mom has a heart attack and she died in the event. So her dad now remarried another wife. When the wife is not comfortable with her, he now felt that this woman will not allow her to exercise her religious rights in the house. So I think he perceived that, and he's not staying all through with the family. He work in somewhere else. He
Yeah.
do normally come to the house. So from time to time he comes to where the family are and go. So he was afraid if he's not around, they will try to stigmatize her and also victimize her in the
I
event.
see, I see, I see.
So
So
when I
but
told
she's
him
in
that there's
good
no
terms with
problem,
her father.
yeah.
Okay.
She
Okay.
communicate. The father take care of everything. He gives her all that she needs. Whenever she's broke or something, he will just send her money monthly. He will just be sending her money. He will buy food stuff for her. While I'm also overseeing what she's doing in the house, I go to the house and check what she's doing, and I always call her, invite her to my house to monitor her activities and also attitude and see if there's change in something. I would just ask her, "Are you not feeling fine today?" Sometimes she tell me yes,
Yeah,
she's
because
feeling.
she can be going through, I mean, the episode of the trauma. You said she was in captivity for how many years?
8 years.
8 years.
Yes, and
Wow.
she gave birth to 4 kids in the
Four
within that
children.
years, four with different husbands. Here in the northeast, I think we have these are numerous stories about the adopted girls. They will give you a sad story. When she was giving me her story, I cried like 20 times. Everything she was narrating vividly, like it's just happened. It's just an event that happened today, and she couldn't forget anything. So I just tried to tell her that she shouldn't be recalling all these issues and let her just forget about it. That she has already started a new life, so I think she don't need to say anything. So and the husbands died. She came with these children. You know,
So
even the perception of the community. She came.
how is she coping with her children not being with her? Isn't that
How
totally?
it was is we were so amazed. Miraculously, we were thinking maybe she will not even consent to that when we gave her the advice. We
Yeah.
now told her that this is the only option she has, because for her to sustain her life with these children, she need to go back to school. She need to come up with a new life that will sustain her and her children. Even if the parents are still with her, there will be a time that the parent can no longer withstand to take care of these children that she brought, not to talk of even accepting the children in the community. So the best idea would try and trace the family of these husbands that she married. If we were able to lay hand on anyone or find any of their relatives, we'll try and see how we can take these children back to them. And to our surprise, all the parents that we identified, they were so anxious to collect these children. They said they lost their children, and all the husbands she married, they were also recruited like her. They were
Oh,
picked by Boko Haram just like her, and they got married there. So they were when they saw the children, they everything just came back fresh in their mind, as if they are just seeing the children that were picked, their children that were picked by Boko Haram. So
okay.
they couldn't even allow us to say anything. They said they are ready to take care
So
of these children.
it's like, their own children coming back in a
Back
different
to
life,
them
you
exactly. Yeah.
know?
Since they've not seen, yeah, exactly. It was just like a film. We were just seeing everything, and we now told her that she should continue praying that God should just give her the content to bear this not living with her children.
Yeah,
Later it's just a matter of time that she will still go back to them and her children will come back to them
yeah,
to her.
yeah.
But for now she cannot withstand. living with these four children.
And is she visiting them? Because also that could be
Yeah,
traumatic
she
for the kid.
communicate with the caregivers. Yeah, she communicate with the caregivers, and also we also advise her that not to be visiting them frequently at this time. It has to be a gradual process. When the children are very comfortable with their new family, later on she can be able to visit them frequently. But for now, let her just be communicating via phone so that the children will be hearing her voice and know that she's still alive and
Yeah,
she will come to them anyway. But for her to be visiting them frequently and
I know.
physically, we try to discourage that because of what the children will go through.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but yeah, there are a lot of cooperation from her and the family and the caregivers, and we try to support her. Like we try to link the children to services that they need in that community. We try to identify organizations that are supporting such kind of children, and
yeah.
we link them up. They supported the caregivers with empowerment, and also support the children to go back to school in that community that children went. So we now tell her that she should just feel free and be comfortable that her children will be taken care of.
Of
So I think we try to give these comprehensive services to her so that she will feel comfortable and also.
I am Dr. Zara. I am amazed. I of the strength, the passion, the commitment you have um, towards this towards girls and women. It's just incredible, and I'm just happy that I didn't even know all this because I just know. Um, uh, Rankus was like, you know, what about Dr. Zara? What about? I said, Rankus, whoever you guys think are humanitarians and are doing great things in their communities that need to be their story need to be shared, please let me know. So I am so happy that Rankas thought of you and you coming up here to talk about what you are doing, not just for even just doing, not just doing the charity, but even bringing someone to your home and you have no clue. It's incredible, and only God can reward you for that. You know, like I always tell people, people ask me, Khuraira, why do you always like to do this? You like to help this. I know everybody in life, there is a motive why you do what you do. You know, so
Exactly.
my motive for wanting to do good is my selfish motive for doing good. It's not for fame. It's not for recognition. It's for my afterlife. You know, because I want to enjoy my life when I get there. I want to have like the best house in the. and the
Yeah. So you're planning to have the best house.
the only way I would be able to do that is by doing good, right? You cannot buy that over there. You cannot buy that in the afterlife. The only way you can get that kind of
Is here.
life is helping those that are the voiceless, those that are the helpless, those that the guy would that will never ever be able to pay you back. You know, doing it without expecting anything back from them, just that you just want to do good. But you know, everyone, let's not lie about it. Everybody that does something, there is a reason why you are doing something. So for my selfish reason is that I want a beautiful afterlife. And I'm sure, Dr. Zainab, that is what is in your head too. Like, you know, you're doing this not
Exactly.
because you
Exactly.
want
That's what
you know,
so
but you want to do
this
it.
is what I'm also wishing for myself
Yeah,
and any other person that is supporting us or helping the needy and less privileged.
yeah.
They have space there,
And
definitely.
and you know the thing that I always tell people, and it's when you give, especially when you give without expecting back, it is such
Yeah.
a good feeling. Like right now, this young lady you're describing, I am so happy for you that you were able to you got the opportunity to support someone like that, you haven't just changed her life, you have changed the life of her father. Because do you know what the stress and the stigma with him getting his daughter kidnapped, being a Christian and having taken, you know what I mean, and then brought back to that community where he is. That you took a serious burden off of him, you know, and now that you're educating this young woman, helping her to get education, her children, you really have done them a service. I was confused when you said, "Oh, you guys took the children back to the family," and I was wondering why would you want to do that? But I think you explaining, if she is not financially independent, she is of no use to these children, and you are so right. And I think that is the serious problem in a lot of third world country or Africa, especially in our region in northern Nigeria, whereby people are not allowing girls to be educated, or even when they're educated, they are not allowed to advance more than primary school. And even if they are advanced to primary school, when they finish maybe even university, they are stopped from working. And that is not right, because death can happen. You understand? Divorce can happen. It is important that when we have these young women and ladies, and they have worked so hard to go to school and get the education to be allowed to make a living, at least make something out of it. It's just a natural human pride to say, I have achieved this by myself. I think, and no human being should be denied that. And I don't know your take on that, especially you being in a very predominantly male controlled community, a society. What do you
Exactly.
think about that?
Yeah, about stopping the girl child to continue education,
Oh,
and
and even
also,
after they get educated, they're not allowed to work, or
yeah,
make any, or do any business.
that's also a serious issue. What there are some, yeah, I did the advice I always give to men when I come in contact with is that we are not saying that the girl should not marry up, or maybe when she's married she should stay and take care of her family.
Yeah,
But when a man is around and when a man is alive, the woman is totally dependent on the man's income. So
yeah,
what about, we know that death is inevitable, and
yeah,
also when the woman dies, the man continues with his normal uh, taking care of the children and everything. Nothing will stop. The only thing they will miss is that they will miss their mother. The mother is not around, and also she's no more, and nobody is replacing her position. That's
yeah,
the only aspect they will miss. But for any other social, economic, and any other responsibility also still lies with the father. So nothing will stop. But in a scenario or a situation where the father is dead and mother is not economically uh,
stable.
supported, she doesn't have any economic background of taking care of the children, she doesn't buy anything, she even the husband, when he's around, he doesn't allow the woman to even know the price of anything in the market, because he's always overprotective, that he doesn't want his wife to go to market, he doesn't want the wife to know anything concerning his asset or anything. Like, this is the patriarchal mentality that most men has here. So when the husband died, you will find out that the woman doesn't know anything about the income of the husband. The
Yeah,
only thing she did when he came with the leather bag in the house and also put it for her, the food and the food stuff and everything, she prepared the food for him. But for any other income of the husband, she doesn't have idea.
yeah, it's no
She will
idea.
end up, yeah. So in this scenario, I think is the best way the men should utilize their finances is to make sure they support and empower their wives.
Yeah,
When the man dies, the only person that step back and support the children is the wife. It's only
Exactly.
the relatives and everybody that the husband is supporting. When he was alive, he was given all his money to. They would just go away, run away, and leave this woman with nothing, and also try to even forget about her and her family and
Yep.
her children. But
Yep.
she can sacrifice all that she has, the time, energy, and resources to make sure she ensure that these children achieve whatever they want to achieve in life. So she can do what she can go to any length to do that. So why not now try to empower her when you are alive? Give her something out of your resources, out of your finances.
Even if she's not
Support
going to
her.
work, let her do something at work.
Only this only scenario, I think, is a very good example for men to know the importance of educating and also empowering their wives.
Yeah.
Not to talk of even the girl children. Mostly in our houses, you will see that the fathers always support the children to go back to school, and also they support their girl children to go back to school. But at the end, all the resources they wasted in sponsoring their girl children to primary, secondary, and higher institution. Just one man one day who just come up and say he's going to marry this girl and also stop her from continuing the school, not to even talk of allowing her to work.
True.
So this is a very important issue that men should also consider and take it serious. Once you stop somebody's daughter from working, that's exactly how someone, a man, will stop your daughter from working. The resources that you spend on this girl to study medicine or anything, any relevant course that she is studying to support herself and her family, one man will just one day stop everything. And that is why we always recycle this poverty in
Yeah.
our society,
Well, this
because
is like,
this is gap that we fail to understand, and we refuse to fill in that gap, and we are just like double standard. It's
true.
just like a double standard for the men. I don't
Yeah.
know what they were always thinking about this issue of stopping their wives or
And
maybe
you know, the
their.
sad part of it, Dr. Zara, is that, like you said, for example, be it like death or divorce, some men eh, are only concerned with the child at the time that they're in love with you. When they divorce,
Yes,
they don't even care sometimes about you and your children. Or
exactly.
if the man passes away, like you said, all the people that he had been taking care of as his family members, all they're after is what has he left behind. And they will
Exactly.
take her children away from her in pretense that they will give them their
They'll
father's
take care.
the things, but immediately they squander the father's thing, they abandon the children. But if your wife is educated and you're able to let her know what you have accomplished, what you have in the bank, what you have as asset, and, she will know exactly what is there for her children. You know,
Yes.
and in the case of the divorce, where the husband don't care about the children and you, if you are able to do something, you'll be able to fend for the children. So,
Yeah.
like the school I have in my village, so you know the majority are houses and Fulani. The majority actually Fulani, and of course one other house of the tribes that live together. Also, the kids attend to that school, but in that education, they allow their children up to university or school. But with us, with the Fulani culture, they want to take them out immediately after primary school. Even by the time they are like 15, they want them to marry. So the deal I had, um, all the parents, I said, I said, nobody to pay anything for you to attend the school, not even a kobo or to pay. But there is one thing that you have to sign before your daughter attends the school, is that you're not going to pull her out of the school before
Out of.
she graduate primary school. And even if culture-wise, because some of them start primary school a little bit later, so because of age-wise, they want to marry them. Let's say you even get married, even if she's pregnant, she is going to continue to the school until she finishes her certificate. Because
Education.
if she has that certificate, she's able to maybe train for something else. And then I also encourage them that they should allow them, after they finish the primary school, to, if they're not aligned to the secondary school and university, let them learn it. And so far, to be honest with you, I can say almost like what you're saying in the community, people are so welcoming with the girls who are going to school. And they are aligned, the girls, and they are aligned up to secondary school, just from preschool to primary six. Or now I think they've changed it to primary five, whichever way. Anyway, finishing primary school. But then some of the parents sponsor their own children to go to secondary school. So it's important that we women, I'm talking like someone like you, a lot of the women that are doing empowerment, is to always keep drilling that onto the parents, onto the husbands, is that you are not just having these people to get this education and not allowing them to earn a living. It is someone's self-esteem to say that I'm able to make something out of my intelligence, and I'm making money that I am now taking. Imagine some of these girls, the parents are poor too. Do you understand? So imagine they're not doing anything. Is she going to be taking from her husband all the time to feed her family? You know? And so I really thank you, Dr. Zarah. So now, I think, I don't know if there are other people. Rufai, is people wanting to ask questions, because we're almost to the closing. But before I ask what is in store for Dr. Zarah to close up, anybody that have questions, or you're more than welcome to ask questions. If not, then I will be asking Dr. Zarah, what is next? What is the next chapter in for Dr. Zarah? Rufai, anybody with questions? But we got some comments. We said, watch is Abdullahi Kokuma said he's watching from live from Jigawa. We are really proud of you, Ma. And we have someone from Yaoundé, Cameroon. Wow, maybe that's your neighbor, Dr. Zara. Because Maiduguri is not that far away from Cameroon, right? Dr. Zara? Are you still with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I said Cameroon is very close. My mom lives there. My mom lives in Banki.
Okay.
Yeah, Banki is a border, just a line border with Cameroon. So I usually
like Garwa side or Yaoundé side?
Garwa side.
That's Garwa. Okay, wonderful. So, Dr. Zara, we don't have people with questions. So now, before we go, what is in store for Dr. Zara in the coming years? What should we be expecting from Dr. Zara?
In the aspect of veterinary, I think what I wanted to do next is to continue with my research and publications, and practice veterinary as much as I can, because I'm also a civil servant in the state. I'm the veterinarian of the government house.
Okay.
So I really want to practice veterinary very well. So after finishing my residency, this is what I wish to do. Continue with my research about zoonotic diseases that transfer from animals to humans.
Yeah.
This is my area of study. So, and also from the humanitarian space or the development space, that's the NGO. I wish I can get much opportunity, especially the resources, the financial grants, and the rest, because all that I'm doing it out of pocket. I really want to expand it, to do more of this, and I cannot do it without much resources. So I am wishing to see how I can get much grant and also capacity to see how I can expand this my interventions. So, and I'm looking forward to see more partnership and collaborations with other organizations in the state and across the country.
Well, if you are looking for something organization, what do your organization, like the girls, you're talking of the girls, what do you help? Maybe somebody's
Pardon?
watching, I don't know. Like with your organization, girls, if you're looking for some help, what are you looking for that you think that you need to help them with? Maybe somebody's watching, you never know. Who could call up your organization and say, look, Dr. Sarah, we can help you with this. What is it that you need for that organization?
Actually, the network is just breaking. I couldn't get the question actually.
So yeah, my question is that you said you are right currently with everything out of pocket. So
Yes.
if someone is watching that is willing to help you, what are you looking for with your organization?
The our area of resource mobilization, I think the first is through donations and contributions from philanthropists. Then we have our website, we have all our social media handles, and we broadcast all that we are doing. We also have our website where we publish all our activities. I think this is where the donors are seeing how they can support. And also we write a lot of proposals, grant proposals, and seeking for grants from other international organizations. So we are hoping that we will continue writing and see, and when we are lucky to have picked by any other donors, and see how they can support us too. So
Yeah.
I think this is the area that we do, and we have
And
called
when
our
you get that donation, what do you guys use the money for?
eh?
What do you use the money for when you get the donation?
Like when we want to do our annual go back to school campaign,
Okay.
we normally produce banners carrying our organization's account name, and also broadcasting the activities that we carry.
Yeah, I
With
understand that. I understand that. But when you get the money, what do you use it for? I know
Okay,
the
we already have our strategic plan for the whole year. So
okay.
we follow it bit by bit and also try to see how we implement it. So once we don't have the resources to implement the whole project, we just pick some part of the program, then we do it with the self-funded project, and also write
What is that project? What is that project?
the budget for
Project. What is that project?
the project.
Yeah.
Okay, is enrollment.
Okay.
Enrolling children back to school, the school enrollment campaign, and also supporting survivors of GBV, like
Okay.
for empowerment, and
Okay.
also trying to support some little children that are maybe lagging behind in terms of we create non-formal learning centers for out of school children or dropout uh, children. Then we support them with non-formal learning centers, and also give some tokens to the facilitators to see how they can just move them ahead, and mainstream them back to school after some period of time based on the level of the literacy they perceive from them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
we
I'm glad
provide
that
little services, yeah,
okay.
little services like supporting survivors of gender-based violence. Particularly, we do a lot of things in that aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what we're going to do, we're going to have your information, your website, everything under your bio on Dialogue with Khuraira. So in case anybody is looking for, I hope that you find, but don't give up in writing the grants. I'm sure so you will one day be successful on that. And I would say thank you so much for your time, for all that you have shared. I am so excited to have gotten the time to hear your story because I never knew any of that about you. So thank you for your time, and everyone watching. I hope you have gotten some of the insights of. Dr. Zara, what she's all about, what she's doing to give back, and her plight about hoping that somebody watching would be able to support her organization to empower more young girls in need. So I thank you all, and I wish everybody a wonderful night in Nigeria, and a wonderful evening here in the US, and afternoon maybe somewhere, or morning somewhere in the world that are watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and see you next week. Thank you.